This honestly might be the best month of the year for Fine Edition, so let's start talking about it. Hello there, welcome back to the channel. I am Grand Moff Tony. Well, it's the first video of the month, and you know what that means. It's time to once again sit down, have a look at the new figures that I added to my collection this month. It is time for Fine Editions.
Fine addition to my collection.
This month saw one of our most ambitious toy hunts yet, taking us across several states and back. It saw the completion of a team that I have been working on for years. And it saw the addition of some of the best figures of the Modern Black series to my collection. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into talking about these new figures. The first figure of the month was Master Indara. I was able to track down yet another of the Acolyte figures. They are proving very elusive, but I'm getting through them one by one. Considering this was the figure I was looking forward to the most from this line, it didn't really meet my expectations, but it's still decent. The figure itself is great. It's got this new Jedi mold to it. I really like the color and the robes and the tunic and the little wash that they've done to kind of bring out the details, and the head sculpt, of course, is absolutely perfect. It looks just like Carrie-Anne Moss. What's holding me back on this figure is the robe, and I kind of talked about this on my soft goods video, but the robe is very poofy, very weightless, and it's very, very hard to work with. I had some ideas for fighting poses that I wanted to put her in, and the figure can absolutely pull them off until you try and do it with the robe on, and the robe kind of gets in the way. On the whole, though, this is still a great figure, and I'm very, very happy to add it to my collection. Up next are the finds from the Kentucky and Indiana toy hunt. We had an absolutely brilliant time, and I cannot wait to get back down there again. First up, we have this SDCC exclusive unmasked Kylo Ren. Now, I've been trying to track this figure down for a long time. It's not quite SDCC Thrawn on my list of figures that I would probably give my life for, but it was up there because of the accessories that came with it, and I think this is an absolutely brilliant set. I love the First Order banner. I love the little Darth Vader helmet. That just made me so happy. The thing that surprised me on this set is that the accessories are not die-cast, unlike the Throne Room Kylo that came after The Last Jedi. They're just kind of molded plastic, but they look decent. The Vader mask is great, and it comes with an option to have Kylo have his helmet on, but I've got that figure. So the Kylo figure itself is a little hit or miss. Obviously, once you've seen one Kylo figure, you've seen all of them, particularly if they're from Force Awakens. I really like this look, and I really like the soft goods robes. The thing that turns me off on this figure is the hood. Cannot stand the hood, and I cannot find a way to make it sit out of the way, especially how I want to display this figure. I want to have this figure as part of my Rey centerpiece figure that I've got. I want to have him like staring down the other way, but I cannot make this figure look good from behind. So I'm gonna have to try and do some figuring out there. It's decent though, you can tell who it's supposed to be. The accessories are great, absolutely well worth picking up. Up next at a GameStop in Kentucky, we were able to track down Master Saul. I was super pleased to track this one down because it's the one that I've really been looking for, because I really like this character and I really wanted him on my shelf. Once again, the figure itself is great. I love the articulation. The robes, again, kind of get in the way of trying to get him into any decent fighting poses. I talked about this in my soft goods video where I wanted to have him like with his saber drawn back and like in his fight ready pose. You can do it with the figure, but you cannot do it with the robe on, which is kind of a letdown. I'm gonna try and fiddle with it and see if I can get a better one, but when you're just standing there looking stoic and heroic, he looks great. So again, not great soft goods, kind of a running theme for this month, but a great figure overall, and I really am glad I found it. Now, those of you who saw our Kentucky 2.0 toy hunt will know about Miso's game room and collectibles that we tracked down in Kentucky, and I very nearly had an out-of-body experience when I discovered it. An absolutely incredible store, and the very first figure I was able to pick up from his was the long overdue Bad Batch CROSSHAIR. If you're new to my channel and you don't know the story between me and this figure, I ordered it from Entertainment Earth way back when he first went on pre-order. I waited 2 years for him to show up, and he never did. When I reached out to Entertainment Earth, they said, oh yeah, we'll get him to you, no problem. And then Hasbro discontinued the figure, so I reached out again, and they were like, yeah, no problem, we can get this to you, and then cancelled my pre-order. A little while later on, Hasbro very kindly decided to reissue this figure along with a handful of other difficult to find red line figures, and I missed the pre-order for it because I was at work and I left my wallet at home. But Finally, after all this time, I'm finally able to add Bad Batch CROSSHAIR to my collection, and my god, what a figure. He was so worth waiting for. I've got the Imperial CROSSHAIR, which I've now added to my Bad Batch Season 2 display. This one is just awesome. I love the proper Bad Batch coloration on his armor. Of course, it's a great weapon, and the head sculpt on this one is probably the best of the entire team. He just looks so cool. I love the balance of animation versus real-ish, like this is what they might look like if they were live action. It comes across so well in CROSSHAIR, and I could not be happier to finally add this figure to my collection. A few shelves over from CROSSHAIR, I tracked down the B2 Super Battle Droid, and I just had to grab it because this is awesome. The Black Series always does a great job with droids, which is why I kind of thought it was weird that they were ignoring the CIS so much. Like, we've got B1 battle droids, great. Where's the rest of the army? Well, if they are anything like the B2, the CIS is going to have the best figures on the shelf in terms of army builders, because this figure is incredible. I was one of those fools who thought, oh no, they won't do the B2, it's going to be too top heavy, the legs will be too thin. I didn't know what I was talking about. This is probably the most stable Black Series figure since Jabba the Hutt. Like, I literally put him in all kinds of poses, plopped him down on the table, and he just stands there. He looks incredible. He's so bulky, he's so big. I had him next to some shorter Jedi characters, and he just towers over them. Add to that a brilliant little detail where you can remove his paneling and see his interior workings, and it's just an absolute bloody banger of a figure. I cannot put it in any more simple terms. This figure is great. If you don't have one, get one. I saw one recently in my local GameStop, and I had to seriously fight the urge to pick up a second. In the very same store, I was also able to track down the Droideka, not for $65 at FYE, but for a much more reasonable retail price at Miso's Game Room. Everything that I just said about the B2 Super Battle Droid, you can just kind of transplant that here, because the same things are also true of the Droideka. It is intimidating, it is massive, it is highly detailed in ways that they really didn't have to do. This figure looks incredible. Like, it's got me looking at my Legion Droidekas thinking I need to go back and repaint those because they don't look half as good as this. I haven't quite mastered the ball mode yet. I did try to roll it up the other day and I just couldn't quite figure it out, but I think frankly it looks so good in attack mode that this is going to be my attack mode Droideka. Maybe one day I'll get myself a second one and roll him up on the shelf next to it. This figure is incredible, and it goes again to show just how good this line is at capturing the various different droids that exist in the Star Wars universe. I'm so pleased with this. And again, I was a naysayer on this one. I was like, no, they can't make the Droideka work. Well, look at that. They proved me wrong. They are fantastic. I don't know what I'm talking about. The Droideka is an exceptional addition to my collection this month. The final addition to the collection from our Kentucky toy hunt, because we had to call it quits there because we were spending too much money, is the Holiday Purge Trooper. Here we are once again. I am once appearing before you to die on this hill and tell you that these figures are incredible. I love these holiday gimmick figures. They make me so happy, and I am already so excited to pull the whole box out and get them out on my shelf again because I just cannot wait. They are probably my favorite subline of the Black Series, which is kind of embarrassing to admit to. Obviously, this is a really old mold, so that comes with all the articulation issues that you might discover with a Purge Trooper, but the paint job is just next level. The Nutcracker stylization that they've gone for here, it's just so appropriate, and I love it so much. This is going to be an excellent addition to my holiday display. I am so pleased. Welcome to the collection, Holiday Purge Trooper. When we returned from Kentucky, there was something waiting for me from Hasbro Pulse because I was able to pick up my exclusive Darth Maul on Bloodfin. And welcome back, Black Series vehicles. I am so pleased to see these back because this looks incredible. The soft goods are great. The figure itself is a massive improvement on the original Darth Maul, and the actual speeder itself is awesome to look at. It's surprisingly small, so it doesn't take up a ton of space, and it just looks cool. It reminds me of when I used to play Star Wars Demolition with my brother, and I used to have this combo with Darth Maul, where I would save up a proton torpedo until it was like maxed out, and then I would smash into someone, ignite my lightsabers, and blast them with the torpedoes, and it just wiped them out. It was so much fun. I missed that game. It's awesome. This is an absolutely incredible set, and I am so pleased that the Stap is coming next, because I feel like I got that exact figure for Christmas in 1999, and I am really, really excited to go back and relive that moment. I wasn't gonna pick up the single pack Maul, but if it's this good, I think I kinda have to, because it's just such an improvement on the original. Yeah, Darth Maul on the Bloodfin is an excellent addition this month. While I was checking out my university campus, I swung into a Walmart, which was absolute hell on earth, and I will never return to that one in particular, but I was able to claw my way out of that pit with the May Anasea figure. This is the 5th figure in the Acolyte line that I've been able to track down, so I only need to find Jeki, and she is proving very, very elusive, so I really hope I find her. Speaking about this figure though, it is absolutely great. I love it. I love the little decision to include a face mask that you can put on her just to kind of differentiate her from Osha a little bit in the display. The daggers are nightmarish, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like one of these days I'm gonna have to do like a top 10 list of the most absurdly small Black Series accessories, because these ones definitely qualify. At least this figure comes with somewhere to store them. There's a pouch on her leg, but you have to kind of fold her skirt and whatnot out of the way, and I just felt like I was doing it for too long and I might have warped it a little bit. So decent of them to include the storage, and the knives do fit very, very well and very securely into her hands, which I was very surprised by. I was expecting something like the vibro dagger that comes with the Mando figure. Like, it just kind of, it sits there until you try to move it and then it just drops out and disappears. The soft goods on this figure are incredible. Of course it had to show up after I'd done my tier list already, because this would absolutely be an S-tier soft goods product. This is a fantastic addition to the collection. I'm very, very pleased with it, so now I gotta find Jeki. She's gotta be out there somewhere. Finally, for the month of August, while swinging into GameStop to pick up my copy of Star Wars Outlaws, I popped across the road to Target and found that the Pike Soldier was quite appropriately reduced in price. They had taken it all the way down to $17, and I was like, you know what? I will pick that up for $17, and I was very, very pleased with it. This is a great little army builder. I feel like I want to go back and grab some more, because he comes with 2 blasters, and I just kind of want to experiment with different combinations, but this is absolutely great thing. I'm not sure if the faceplate comes off. Don't think it does. I kind of clawed at it for a little while, but I haven't seen anybody posting pictures of it, so maybe it just doesn't come off. Absolutely love the gold on that faceplate, and everything else on this figure just looks great. He's a brilliant little army builder, and he is much easier to sneak past than his in-game counterpart, so that's great. So there you have it. Those were the fine additions to my collection from the month of August. What a fantastic month. We are really going to have to pump the brakes for a bit just to let off, just to recover from picking up all this stuff in one go. So with all that said, let me pass this subject off to you. What were some fine additions to your collection from the month of August? Did you track down that SDCC exclusive Maul as well? Any luck with the Acolyte figures? Let me know down below. I'm really interested to hear from all of you. With that being said, you've probably noticed that our videos are coming out bi-weekly at the moment rather than weekly. That is because I am starting at university this week, and being as I've never done it before, I have no idea what the workload's gonna look like and when I'm gonna have time to get stuff filmed and uploaded. So the plan right now is to still film a video every week, but to kind of upload them every other week, just in case I need some time at some point to really hammer down on my schoolwork, because that's the important thing. That has to come first. And before I close out, once again, I just want to say a massive thank you to the boys from Out the Basement for inviting me on the Lazy Sunday livestream this weekend. It was incredible fun. I don't know if you caught it. There were a ton of some of the best Black Series creators on the platform, and we had a really fun time playing a quiz that Corellian Collectibles had put together. I'll put a link to it in the description down below. Check it out. It is absolutely fantastic. I had an absolute blast. Thanks again, as always, for having me, guys. Really appreciated it. It was fantastic fun. In the meantime, however, I've been Grand Moff Tony. Those were the fine additions to my collection from the month of August. You may subscribe when ready. No, it doesn't. That's a lie. Ignore me. Say words. Do stuff coherently.